What's going on, guys? JPB Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Monday. And for today's matchup, I'm bringing you a prankkids versus swordsoul matchup with me as the prankkids player going first. Now, a quick tip for you guys that are new to the prankkids deck or new to my channel in general. If you have a prankkids monster card in your hand, which is basically your combo starter card, and a prankkids place in your hand, never ever just outright start your combo with the monster. Always start your play with the prankkids place search, because sometimes that will bait out your opponent's Ash Blossom, so after that you're free to go into your combo. Now with this, there are two ways to combo that will undo with the same board. You can go through the Rocket Ride combo, or you can go through the 2 Doodle Doos combo. 2 Doodle Doos combo, you will not be forced to banish one card from your hand. You could just go into Doodle Doo into your Bow Wow Bark, still okay. So I like to use the Doodle Doo combo over my Rocket Ride combo, because if your opponent nibs you on your Rocket Ride, it is basically game over for you. You do not have a combo extension afterwards, because your Rocket Ride is your combo extension to play from your opponent's nib. So with this, we go into our combo, activate Roxy's, banish the Roxy's from my hand, because I would not want to banish any of the cards that I currently had in my hand. So another advantage of using prankkids place is that you could search for your Roxy's, banish that Roxy's off of the Roxy's activation in the graveyard, which is pretty much what I usually always do with my prankkids plays. So we go into Fusion Destiny, and my end board ends up becoming a DPE on the field, with me having access to Butler on my opponent's turn. Now guys, another important tip right here for you guys. If you have a combo piece for your Butler in your hand, namely your Fansies, Dropsies, or Lampsies, and you have a nib in your hand, you could have the potential to Raigeki your opponent's board 3 times. So if they push past 5, you can nib them, and then afterwards use your Pandemonium, go into your Battle Butler, and then Raigeki their field twice over after that. So you have access to 3 different Raigekis on the same turn on your opponent if you play it right and get the card in your hands. So with this, I could have played greedy. I could have chosen to not recycle the Fansies in the graveyard, because I could have said maybe I'll draw into a combo piece for the Butler off of the Prankkids Pranks draw. Could have done that, but I chose to play it safe. I decided to recycle my Fansies, and I ended up drawing into a Dropsies. So I did have the potential to Raigeki my opponent's field 3 times, but I chose to play it safe, so I cannot do it. So now I cannot nib and Butler my opponent. I could only nib or Butler my opponent. Another quick thing, if you have a Maxi in your hand on your opponent's draw phase, always start by Maxiing your opponent first, then chainlink your Bow Wow Bark. So that way, if your opponent is playing a combo deck and they have a Call by the Grave in their hand, they will be forced to use the Call by the Grave on your Maxi rather than your Bow Wow Bark. So that way your Bow Wow Bark will go through, and you will have access to your Butler combo in your hand, and your prankkids monster on the field will be immune to destruction through card effects that turn as well. So keep that in mind. Another tip for you guys. We get our Bow Wow Bark, so now we have our Butler combo online. Let's see how my opponent plays. First and foremost, my opponent is just gonna outright KAIJU my DPE. As you guys see, Gamma Sealed. I'm drawing cards because my opponent is under Maxi. Now with this, it lets me know my opponent is playing a swordsoul. He goes into Monk of Tenni, I draw another. Now this was the really interesting part. He banished his Vishuddha to target the Gamma Seal that he gave me, and Vishuddha bounces cards from the field and puts them back into their owner's hand. So this Gamma Seal is going to get bounced back to his hand. So there it is, and now my opponent just ends his turn. So this basically means that he is daring me to go into my Butler, or I cannot go into my Butler this turn. If I go into my Butler, my opponent will just Gamma Seal the Butler and then continue on with this play, because the game will ask you that your opponent did something. Do you want to continue your main phase afterwards? So if I go into my Butler, he's going to Gamma Seal the Butler and continue on with this play afterwards, which I did not want to happen. So I allowed the end phase to go through. Nothing on his side except for the Monk of Tenni. I go into my draw phase. Now looking at my current hand, I know I can OTK my opponent, because I can just give my opponent a KAIJU, give myself a KAIJU, access code will come on the field, and access code will be at 53. The Kaiju I will put on my side will be at 2800. So I will basically have 8100 damage on the field, which will be able to kill my opponent because he only has 7000 life points. Sadly, once I did push into my 5 normal special, my opponent ends up nibbing me. So I use the nib token, go into a link spider obviously, for a combo extension on my part, and I give my opponent the Kaiju and give myself a Kaiju. So I give him the Kudarla, give myself the Radiant. With this, what I could have done, because these two are considered effect monsters, I could have just gone into my Predaplant Verte Anaconda, used Thunder Dragon Fusion, and since I had all the materials I need for the Butler combo in the graveyard, I could have gone into my Butler. But, as you guys know, my opponent still has the Gamma Seal in his hand. So even if I do it this way, I would not have been able to kill my opponent this turn, even if I had the prankkids play set up on the field spell and boost up my monsters by 500. I was missing, I believe, 1400 damage even after all that. So what did I decide to do? I activate my prankkids place, search for a copy of Fancies. This way, I have all the pieces I need for the Butler combo in my hand. And as I said before, I'm not going to go into my Predaplant to go into my Butler because my Butler would get instantly Gamma Sealed once it's my opponent's turn, and he will go into his combo afterwards. I wanted to save my Panda play, chainlink it to something that is important to him, and then use my Butler's activation once I'm done with my graveyard activations as a quick effect to pop his field. And this way, I had a nib in my hand as well. Since I know he's playing Sword Soul, Sword Soul has to push past 5 cards to go into their combo. So I know I can nib him, then go into my Butler, Raigeki him afterwards. That was my whole thought process. He activates Pot of D. Okay, banish 10, draw 2. Emergence. Go for Moye. So now I know it's a guarantee this guy is going to go into a combo that is going to be pushing him past 5 cards. So it's a guarantee nib on this guy. Pretty much really good for us. Let's see how it combos. Banishes Atara, adds the Vishuda. That is still okay. Moye token goes into Grandmaster or Bajia. So at this point, if I was him, I would have gone into Bajia, which he obviously does. And this Bajia is his 5th special. Now this Bajia was really good on him because he targeted the card that I absolutely needed to have on the field, which was my prankkids Pandemonium. If this Pandemonium got bounced, I lose my access to my Butler. So as you guys will see, he targets the Pandemonium specifically. As I said before, I needed this card to stick on the field. My opponent is already into his 5th special, so I can nib him. With this, I was forced to pop open my Forbidden Droplet to negate the Bajia. I use Forbidden Droplet to take away the Kaiju on my field. Why do I do that? Because I know for a fact I am going to nib him first, then go into my Butler. So the token I want my opponent having has to be as low as possible. If the Kaiju was on the field, the token would have been a big boy token. Instead of just these cards on the field, the token would be somewhat of a low attack defense token. So that's the reason I use Forbidden Droplet, take away the Kaiju on the field, negate the Bajia. So that gets negated, and we instantly resort to nibbing my opponent. My opponent maxis me, that is okay. Chain linking Maxi to nib will draw him 2 cards. I was okay with that. He already had 5 cards in his hand. He showed me that he does have combo. He goes into his combo and everything else, that's okay. Gamma seals my nib on the field. Now he shows me he has Longyan in his hand as well. So as soon as he shows me the Longyan, activates the Longyan, I chain link my Pandemonium to that. So now I'm not worried about the Kaiju threat. I already have a Kaiju on my side, so he cannot Kaiju me again. With this, the Longyan comes on the field with the token. Now the priority is on us. I get the graveyard activations, and keep in mind guys, I'm still under Maxi. So as you guys saw right there, I only activated the Lamseas plus the Dropsies. I did not activate Fancies because I am not going to special summon because again, as I said, I'm still under Maxi. And with that, I chain link my place to that and chain link my Butler to that, banish Meowmoo, pop my opponent's field completely. The chain link resolves, Frankus plays boosts up my card by 5, and I burn him for 5 and heal myself for 1k. Now he shows me he still has a KAIJU, so that's another combo extension. Uses it, puts Taya on the field. I use my butler, pop the Taya. Don't want to deal with that whatsoever. Draw into a Kaiju, not a combo starter card. I have no way to draw into a combo starter card now, so I just go into battle phase, hit him in the face with the Kaiju that he gave me, activate Pranks, recycle, end my turn. Pranks does not draw me into a combo starter card either, so that sucks. Now with this, my opponent does go into his combo. With the Sword Soul Emergence that he showed me, he goes into Moye, so I know it's pretty much a full combo on his part. I'm not too worried about this. Now, did you guys see what my opponent did? He used another Pot of D to banish 10, draw 2. Now this guy is only left with 6 cards, and once he does the combo, he's going to go down to even having lower cards in his main deck. So with this, I know I can nib my opponent. He again uses the Vishuddha, bounces the Gamma Seal. So now he Gamma Sealed me 3 times already. He could Gamma Seal me once again. With this, he activates Longyan, discards Vishuddha, and I have to nib him right here. This was what I was worried about the whole time. This guy has 5 cards in his main deck left. If this guy had a crossout in his hand plus a nib in his main deck, I would be dead this turn. This guy would kill me. I would probably have no way to recover, even if he does not kill me after that, because his board will be pretty stacked after that. So I have to hope for this guy to not have a nib in his main deck anymore. And surprise, surprise, what do you know? He did not have it. So he crossed out the infinite impermanence. I was okay with that. My nib goes through, his field gets wiped. I put my nib on the field, give him a token. He Gamma Seals the freaking nib again. So that's the 4th time he used the Gamma Seal on me. The same Gamma Seal from turn 1, mind you. So now, my outs basically were me drawing into my prankkids combo starter card, or me drawing into my Thunder Dragon Fusion. Thunder Dragon Fusion basically means I win the game. Or draw into a Raigeki, or draw into Instant Fusion, which were basically my game-winning cards as well. Because, as you guys will see, I get Harpy's Feather Duster the back row, which turned out to be the Blackout, did not care. Once the Thunder Dragon Fusion goes through, my Butler will come on the field. And since I did go into a Prankkids Fusion, my Prankkids place activates, boosts up these cards by 500. This Butler will go to 35, which will beat over the nib token, and this will go at precisely 2700 damage. So I will be winning the game with the Gamma Seal that my opponent has been constantly throwing at me. 4 times this game, I would have used it to beat my opponent. I was feeling so satisfied at that point. But sadly, my opponent did not give me the satisfaction. He just surrendered. That's going to be the end of the game, guys. If you guys do like this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to my channel for more daily prank and video uploads. And if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule is going to be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBDuel signing out for today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace!